Oh man, welcome back to the gray space. I'm Zeke. That is Dre.
Yes, sir.
And we are back with another one for you guys this week.
Man, you already know how we get down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? Make sure you subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. Hit that like and comment if you're rocking with the content. Now, we got special guests in the building, my guy.
We do.
You know what I'm
we
saying?
do. Yeah.
And we just recently got tapped in with them. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely are looking forward to get more of the story. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Our guest today is making waves out of Arizona, originally from Mesa. His latest single, Two Turned in My City, featuring Baby Punch, is a true depiction of Arizona. You know what I'm saying? And it's the vibes, it's the West, and that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? His new project, Out West, is slated to come out this month, and we got him. You know, he gonna dive into that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Our guests, please welcome Epics into the Gray Space Network. What's up, Epics?
Welcome in, man.
Appreciate being here.
Yeah, man.
That was a nice little intro too. Got
Thank
me
you, brother.
excited.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, let's get into it, man. We were talking before we started recording, and you know, you're born and raised in Arizona, which is
Strange.
It's
strange.
It's a
you
new,
don't run across very many
No,
people.
you don't see that too
natives
much
around
more.
here, man. That's crazy.
And you know, you saying you grew up in Mesa, you know, it's one of those places where when you think about rappers, especially people that make music out of Arizona, it's always like South Phoenix and Maryville.
Yeah.
Right? South Phoenix, West Phoenix, Glendale, maybe a little bit tied in there. Talk to us, you know, kind of your origin story, bro, like how you got into music, how it was growing up in Mesa. You know, give us epics, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, honestly, when I tell people this, they can't believe it. I just started releasing music 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I always did music, but I just never really took it serious.
Okay.
And honestly, I never really thought it was good enough to put out.
Okay.
Because I'm a perfectionist. So
Okay, I got
like,
you.
It was like I was working. I was, you know, building my sound by not putting anything out. And then the start of COVID is when I started releasing music. And so I just been going in for 2 years straight, just releasing just as much as I can. And, you know, touch back on growing up in Mesa. Shout out to everybody, you know, from Arizona that's doing music. Shout out to, you know, West Valley, you know, Phoenix people, South Phoenix too. But, you know, growing up in Mesa, it's definitely different from, you know, Phoenix. You know, a lot of people, you know, really don't think like there's too much of a culture out in Mesa. But, you know, the area I grew up off of, like 8th Ave, like there's so many cultures. Like you got the Hispanic culture, you got, you know, the blacks, you got the whites. It was a good mix, you know, of different things growing up out there. And, you know, Mesa's small, so everybody know each other. So if you grew up in Mesa, we didn't cross paths, went to the same elementary or junior high or something.
Right.
So when did you actually start working on your craft? Was it like in school, like high school time, or was it after high school?
I had an older brother who did music, so
Okay.
I kind of paid attention to, you know, things he did. And when I was in high school too, my mom, she got me all the equipment, so I had my own studio in my room. But it was just still like I would release stuff to the friends, homies, here or there,
for sure.
burn a CD, give it to a female or
There you
something,
go.
but it was nothing, never really serious.
Was you using Magics?
What'd you say?
Was you using Magics?
No, I had Pro Tools.
Oh, you did have
I had Pro
Pro
Tools.
Tools.
Yeah, my mom,
Man,
she went and got
nice.
me all. I had Pro Tools speakers. I had the whole setup.
Oh shit. Okay.
So you know, a lot of people would come to my house and record, and you know, so I learned how to engineer a little bit too.
Okay.
From doing that, and then I went to school one semester at EVIT. I took radio broadcasting there, so they taught me how to work with Pro Tools and stuff too. So it was just like. Honestly, for me, it was just like I just always been learning and studying.
Okay.
And you know, when it was time to finally drop, I started to drop.
Okay.
So did you start doing stuff, making beats, or did you start like writing and stuff like
Start
that?
writing. I've been knowing how to write music since 9.
Okay.
So it was, you know, the more I wrote, the more I learned how to structure it, how to structure a song. Because when I was first recording in high school, I was just rapping, but then eventually I learned how to structure a song, 16, a hook, outros, you know, all that, all that, you know, technical stuff, whatever you want to call it. I learned how to do that. So
nice.
So you said you really started to get into it at the turn, of COVID. And, we talk about this a lot on this show because obviously the last 2 to 3 years has been, probably the weirdest shit that anybody's gone through in the multitude of ways, you know what I'm saying? And it's been good for some people, but bad for others. And, a little bit of blend of everything. We kind of started, really getting our stride during the COVID, you know what I mean? During the initial start of COVID. What was it that made you, like, was it just being at home? It was like, well, I ain't got nothing else to do, so I'm going to just start doing this music. Like, what made you, because you said you really wasn't putting out music until then. So what made you have that confidence to want to start putting out music?
It was honestly, I had a friend who I kind of started off with. He did music too. And so I knew he was still kind of dabbling a little bit in music. So I called him. I was like, yo, I think I want to start, I want to actually put out something. Like, so he linked me with, my engineer. Shout out to Doc Beats. He linked me with him. Okay. And so, like, I basically never left the studio.
Okay.
Like, as soon as I linked with him, I linked with him and then COVID hit. So it's like, all right, cool. Like, I'm going to just record.
Okay. Were you recording at home, or were you still going to him?
No, I was going to him.
Okay.
Yeah,
actually. So you guys kept that relationship even after. That's fire. So what was it like? You getting in the booth, getting in the studio, and you like, okay, I'm gonna get serious about this. Like, what was that experience like at first? You know what I'm saying? And how did that help you moving forward to say I'm gonna continue to do this over the span of the last couple of years?
I think when I was working on my very first project, just the songs I was recording, like when I go back and listen now, I laugh. I'm like, they're not that good. But like some of the songs are like really good, and you can see the growth a little bit early. But honestly, thinking about it, was just, for me, it was just like the timing was just right. Okay. I'm a timing person, so I felt like the timing was just right. So everything connected, everything clicked. And, when I first was releasing stuff, a lot of people, they bashed it, they laughed at me, but it's like, all right, cool. Just get better.
And that you never was like, you know what, nah, I'm done.
Nope.
Like once people, you went back in the booth. What was, because you talked about this a lot, you said this word a lot already, is the growth, right?
Yeah.
What has it been for you that's allowed you to stay strong and still, pursue this thing that's, even though you've been doing it, still fairly new to you in the sense of you're putting out music, you're now putting yourself out. Because it's a big thing, right? Like a lot of people, everybody didn't probably rap and recorded a song a day in their life. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody has put themselves out there that way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, put their music out there, put their face out there. So how, what has it been that's allowed you to keep going, keep striving, and then now you have a new project coming out? What has that been like for you?
I think honestly for me it's just been staying humble and staying true to myself.
Okay.
I feel like if I was trying to be anybody else, I probably would have, it's not gonna work. Okay. But I just stayed down, stayed humble, stayed hungry, really. Like I'm gonna get better and better and better. I'm gonna keep recording because my engineer told me, he was like, well, if you're serious about it, the more you record, the better you get. Right. So I honestly treated it like basketball. Like, okay. How do you get your jump shot? Right. You go to the park and you shoot the ball. Right. Yeah. So for me it was like I'm gonna go to the studio as much as I can. Okay. So I'm knocking out 3 or 4 songs a day. Okay. Like when I go to the studio, I'm not just doing one song. I'm knocking out like 3 or 4 songs.
What's your writing process like? Like are you do you need a beat to write, or do you just write and then kind of try to put it to something? Are you writing in the studio? Are you already ready before you go to the studio? Like, what's that like?
I every once in a while I'll write a little bit in the studio, but most of the time I write at home, or I could be driving in the car and think of something. I was like, shit, I gotta write that down. Okay. Or I'll be having a conversation with somebody too, and I'll have my phone and I start writing in my phone. Okay. I do a lot of writing in my phone, and then sometimes I'll put it together. Like I'll write like a little bar, okay, and just leave it there, and I'll come back maybe 2 days later, and I'll put it together in like a whole song. Okay. And I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go. I like how this sound. Okay. Sometimes I write without a beat, sometimes I write with a beat. For me, it don't matter. I'm always working.
Thinking about something.
Yeah, always in that kind of creative space. Then it kind of always changes, right? You know, because nothing ever really is like exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that, man.
Thank you.
That is fire.
So let's talk about your sound, bro, because, you know, for me, you know, I'm originally from, we call ourselves Calizonians, man. We didn't live half our life in California, half in Arizona. And, excuse me, you bringing that West, man. You know what I'm saying? The new project is called Out West. You know what I mean? And I think as somebody from Arizona, I'm actually glad that you're doing that, because I've talked about this before.
Man, a lot.
I've said this a lot, man. I hate beating a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people from Arizona be like, "Nah, we not from the West." Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, then where y'all from? Like, I get it.
Arizona.
You can say Southwest, but it's the West is still in there, right?
We California's cousin.
I mean, for real, right? So that's why I thought it was so dope that you named the project that, and your sound really reflects that. You know what I'm saying? So talk to us about your sound, your influence. Like, who was the guys you was listening to growing up that kind of inspired your sound?
Yeah, damn, that's a good question. Cause I'm such a music head. I listen to everybody, but like to probably inspire my sound, artists like Sugar Free, Dom Kennedy,
I can hear it,
DJ Quick. I'm a huge Ice Cube fan. Like all them guys right there. I still listen to them a lot too every day.
No, Ice Cube's in my top 5 all time.
Absolutely,
bro.
Ice Cube is hard. It's so many West Coast artists, and then, you know, like I said, I feel like I'm a student of the game. Like, I even like 3 6 Mafia. I've been listening to 3 6 Mafia since I was 9.
For sure.
You know, T.I. Like, I'm a music person, so, but definitely West Coast. West Coast is a huge influence on me, and California like my second home. Like, my family out there right now. Like, I got a cousin, they live in Crenshaw, so when I go to Cali, you know, we turned up.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, that's where the sound come from. Just, you know, honestly, my love for the West Coast, and I love being in LA too. So
yeah, I mean, I miss it. It's just too goddamn expensive.
Right. It is.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, prices going up out here. I can't imagine what it's doing out there, man.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Because I moved back out here 2019, and that was right before it got crazy out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I feel like, 10 people that I know from out there moved out here next year. They were like, we out of here, man.
They coming out here.
Yeah. They all live in the same neighborhood as me.
That part. Run into them at the store.
Yeah, man.
So you were talking about the people that influenced you. What do you think of the music today? What do you think of hip hop today?
I think it's cool. I think there's a bunch of artists, but I feel like sometimes a lot of this shit sound the same.
Right.
It's like repetitive at this point. So it sound good, but I'm like, he sound like
the other guy.
Like, I get it. People be like, oh, this is a hit. I'm like, it sounds good, but he sounds like the last.
Right.
The other person.
Right.
I get that.
But you know, it is what it is. I don't think it's really a problem with it, but it just sometimes it gets a little, you want to hear something different.
Right. I agree with that, because there's a lot of people in the pool of and I think somebody hears something, right? And this goes for every genre of music, is you get a lot of copycats.
Yep.
Going, this person, you know, millions of views or millions of listens or whatever, and then they try to copy that, and it's just like, just be creative, be you. You know. And it's okay to take influences, you know, for certain people, you know, but I think you're right. I think you kind of hit it right, is that a lot of people sound exactly the same.
Exactly.
Like, exactly the same. You know, like beat for beat, you know, bar for bar. You're just like, man, like, it's cool, but it was already done. Yeah, so I totally get that for sure.
Describe kind of not just your sound, but your musical style, like kind of what because you got some different joints. You got some that are, you know, obviously you got like the 2 Turned in My City.
Yeah.
But then you got some where you're keeping it a little bit more real on certain projects, on certain songs, right? Talk to us about, like, and really, let's speak to the project that's coming out. What's this project gonna sound like? Like for people that have never heard an Epic song, and they're watching this and they're like, "Dude, seem kind of dope. I'm gonna go check out his music." What could they expect on Out West?
I think Out West it's definitely fun.
Okay.
You definitely hear the vibe in it. It's honestly if Out West is you put it in and you go take a trip.
Okay.
You're going to go take a trip.
Okay.
I honestly structured the album like that on purpose. I wanted you to get in your car like you getting dressed, you getting ready to turn up.
Okay.
And you at the party.
Okay.
You got to turn up.
So it's strictly for the turn up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because a lot of people will BS and be like, man, we was going through some real hard times. And then you listen to the project, you be like, where the hard times at? Like,
that part.
I don't hear no struggles.
And
you know what I mean?
shit, I was going through hard times by creating it, but it was just my mentality is still like I always want to try to have fun. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm not one of those rappers that can just go in there and rap about I shot 30 people in one song or I'm depressed, I'm down and out. I'm gonna get in there, talk some shit.
Definitely.
Talk about some bitches.
I heard it.
You know what I'm saying? If you got a 6'4", hit some switches.
Okay.
Like that's honestly what Out West is. Like,
Okay.
I'm taking you on a trip.
Nice. This is more. It's not a serious question. I've never really asked this question, but in the recent times, the recent news, I guess anybody who's in the hip hop industry, this has to be an important question now because I think young rappers, man, rappers in general are losing their lives at an alarming rate. You know what I'm saying? And you got the passing of Takeoff that recently happened.
R.I.P.
Yes, rest in peace and our condolences to the family. And just senseless shit, you know what I'm saying, that's going on.
Yeah.
What do you think about kind of that part of hip hop where it seems, even though in the 90s, in the early 2000s, it seemed to be more street led back then, it wasn't as dangerous, it seems like it seems mad dangerous to be a rapper and just be in a regular neighborhood now, you know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on that in today's world? And does that give you any cause to pause?
No, because honestly, to me it's just it's everyday shit.
Okay.
Like, we kind of look at these rappers and celebrities and we put them on a higher pedestal, but they human like us. Everybody, growing up, especially in the black culture, you gonna shoot dice. Mm-hmm. We known to get into arguments over dice and betting and gambling.
Right.
I think right now hip hop is getting a bad rap. They blaming it on the music, but I don't really think it's the music. I just think it's the timing and the places some of these artists are going or what these artists are doing. And then a lot of rappers, they're considered the street rappers.
Right.
Like, I feel like a lot of times you rapping about guns and you running up on people, somebody gonna want to test you. And that's what I feel like. If that's what you want to rap about that.
Okay.
But, know what it comes with or whatever. But I don't really. It's dangerous everywhere.
For sure. Facts.
And I've always been the type of person, I pay attention to my surroundings.
Right.
I know not to hang out with certain people too. Like, I'm the type of person, I feel like if you're going to get me into some shit, you don't need to be around me. Okay. Because when I'm out somewhere, I'm on good energy. I'm never on bad energy.
Gotcha.
I only want good energy around me. So your energy's not good, you're not going to be with me. You're not going to be around.
Does that change the way that you make music, though? Like, because you just said, if that's what y'all want to talk about, do you make it a conscious point to be like, I'm going to make records that are fun to turn up to? Like, is that part of your thought process?
Yeah, honestly, for Out West, that was part of my thought process.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, like, I could rap when I want to, but it's just, like I said, I just wanted to have fun. I want to bring the fun back. Okay. Like, when I was creating Out West, I was listening to a lot of Mesa.
Okay.
Mace, one of my favorite rappers, so I'm listening to Mesa. I'm listening to artists that I'm listening to rappers that got singers on their songs and stuff like that. Because like I said, like, if that's what y'all want to rap about, that's fine. But know what it comes
Know
with.
what it comes with,
I
for
just,
sure.
I'm the type of person. I just know my lane. I stay in my lane. Like I
Right.
said, I want to ride in 6'4s and be around bitches.
Okay.
Like,
I respect it.
Like when you listen to my music, like I'm literally saying that. Like I even say on Two Turns in the City, I say niggas want to beef. I don't beef. I rather
Yep.
fuck they bitch throughout the week.
Yep.
Like, I'm really like that. Like I really like I just rather be on some player shit. Like,
Okay.
That street stuff that ain't me. Y'all can have that.
Okay, and I respect that, man. I respect that. You putting out a project in a world of singles.
Yeah,
Right?
let's talk about
Yeah.
this real quick. So
Okay, go ahead.
I'm glad you talked about this because I really wanted to touch on this because you have 3 projects and now you've released singles.
Yeah.
So you had Extra Out
Yeah.
and Next Morning
Yep.
and now Out West
I had hold on, sorry to cut you off.
and some EPs too.
I had Late Nights, Next Morning, West Side Heartbreak, Extra Out, now Out West. So it's my 5th project within
So-
2 years.
So why? Because we've talked to quite a few people in very interesting answers. So I kind of want to get your
Yeah.
side of why you like to put out projects. Because you're talking about like we love projects.
Yeah.
Man, just I love the construction of a project, and what it means, the whole vibe of the thing, how it's constructed, how it's laid out.
Yep.
Because man, it's just something to listen to, right?
Yeah.
It's like a book or a movie, right? It's the same context where you're getting this whole project in this setting,
Yeah.
and it's just a beautiful thing. So just explain to us like why projects and not just singles.
Honestly, for me, it's just like everybody don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new person that's gonna learn about me every day, and when you learn about that new person, when you on iTunes, whatever you on, you learn about that new person. You go back and look at the catalog. I don't want to be that new person that got 4 or 5 singles and they all spread out. I want you to
Right.
go back and listen to my body of work. Because when I do release my singles, my one single, if it pop, you're going to go listen to my catalog. Now my whole catalog's about to pop.
Right. Okay.
Which, like I said, if that's the route someone wants to go with just the singles, that might work for them. But in my mind and how I've been structuring what I've been seeing, I'm a keep releasing projects because even some of the the best artists, the top artists, like Mozzie, one of my favorite rappers. Mozzie got a ton of projects.
Right. Yep.
That's how he got popping, by releasing the body of work. So
Right.
I feel like it's still, you got to kind of have that old school mentality. People want to see the body of work, not just the one song you released 2 years ago. Like,
Right.
I that wouldn't sit right with me. I'm too much of I got to move around. So, I
Right.
got to get, got to get the body of work out.
Yeah, I love that you're doing bodies of work, man.
Thank you.
I really am. And I've gone through and I've listened since you said we're coming on the show, and I'm listening. And I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
just love bodies of work, man. It's just singles are cool. Like
They
I
are.
have no issue with singles. Like so, if people put out singles. I ain't hating on you putting out singles, because I think singles are a good way of like reaching maybe, and especially in like social media
Yeah.
points and stuff like that. But I find the gems are actually in the projects and not the singles. Like the singles are, something that's going to bring somebody in,
Yeah.
and that's what's the point of it, right?
And in my mind, Drake wouldn't be as big as he was if Drake just did singles.
Right. I agree.
Everyone want to see the body of work still, because then you can go back and be like, oh, that was a classic. Why do we like Dr. Dre so much? Because he released just good body of work. The Chronic, whatever else he produced, it was the body of work. That's what made Death Row go.
Right.
It was all the work, the bodies of work. So that's just my mentality when it comes to the music. I'm gonna always release projects.
Right.
That's a crazy point because that you probably are the first person to ever come on here and say that's how I want to attack it.
Yeah.
Like normally it's the opposite now because everybody's attention span is like that.
Yep.
So it's like let's keep creating singles, and then once we get the fan base that we want, now we hit them with the project.
Yeah.
But you saying that because it's so funny. We just looked up an artist. Cat named Jesse Elvis singing, white boy singing crazy. Just got turned on to him. I go to look him up. He got like 3, to your point, got like 3 singles
Yeah,
out,
same.
spread out over years.
Yeah.
Like no project to go to, right? So that is a great point. I'm glad you said. I love that. Like that.
I do too, man.
The
I
way
really
you
do.
broke
I
that down
appreciate
because
that.
that's a real thing. Like especially now because there's so much music in the world. When you finally do get tapped in with somebody, you are, like you said, gonna go back and be like, man, I wonder how much, because you be feeling like you missed out.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying?
You do. And even if you go listen to a lot of my songs too, they don't be like over two minutes.
Okay.
Track 1 be 2 minutes. Listen, go to the next one.
Right.
Because I already know the attention span's short.
Right.
And then, like I said, the way I structure it is every time I do an album, you're probably only going to get 10 or 11 songs.
Yes.
And they're gonna be short. So, I'm
in and out in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
So, if you can, when is the project coming out?
November 14th.
Okay.
I'm dropping it on my birthday.
Nice.
It's already mixed, mastered, everything.
Okay, it's ready to go.
It's already ready to go.
Okay. Yep. Can they pre-buy it, or you got to get it when it come out?
You got to get it when it comes out.
Okay. Will be, you know what I'm saying?
Because this project right here, I'm telling you, this project, I feel like, every artist said they get better each project, but when people hear Out West, they gonna see the vibe and they gonna see what I'm on. Like, Extra Out was lit. I love that album. That's my favorite so far. But Out West is the one.
Okay.
So
do you do any shows? Do you perform anywhere, or do you have any shows?
I have. I just did an album release probably about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Shout out to Gift and Thrift Mesa. I did it with them.
Okay.
It was packed. Had a lot of people there. I didn't even expect that many people, but
nice.
People came. I had other artists there too. And then before that, I opened up for an artist named Rucci.
Okay.
From LA, so shout out to Rucci. I just been working, and then before the Rucci show, I was in LA twice within 2 weeks performing. Okay. So shout out to Payday LA. I performed with them back in April, and then I performed at another spot in LA. Booked the spot at LA. Shout out to them. Them too. I was out there in April. So yeah, I just been working. I move a little different now because I kind of understand the business side of things too. So at first it was like I was just trying to jump out and do all the shows I could do.
Right.
But it was like I had to look at the business side of things. If it didn't make sense business wise, then don't do it. So.
Right. And like you said at the top of the show too, it's all about timing.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on that, man, because it really is. It's all about timing, man.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really all about timing. You can't rush certain things, and you can't, sometimes you just can't sit back and wait either. You got to just keep pushing on, and there's a nice happy balance there, for sure.
So what's next on the menu, man, for Epics? What can people expect going forward? Where would you like to see yourself? You know what I'm saying? We're tapped into the end of the year, 2022. So where would you like to see yourself maybe in the next year, next 5 years? Like what's next for you, man? What's next on the menu?
I feel like sky's the limit for me.
Okay.
Like I just keep growing and networking. On my Out West project, I got a big artist on there from LA, and that's just from me reaching out, networking, meeting the right people. Like I said, sky's the limit. I got Out West coming out, and then after Out West, I'm gonna drop part 2 of West Side Heartbreak.
Okay.
So I did West Side Heartbreak probably a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna do West Side Heartbreak part 2.
Fire.
And that's gonna be sometime towards the spring. So
okay,
I'm just working.
Good.
Just working.
I love it. Thank
man.
You. Yeah, that's nice.
Well, let the people know, man. You got any shout outs you want to give out? You know what I'm saying, before we get out of here?
Shit, shout out to everybody that's just supporting with the movement, Epic Vision.
For sure.
And where can people find you?
So yeah, you can go to Instagram, Real Epics Music. I'm on there. If you still use Twitter, which I still do, I'm very active on Twitter.
Okay.
Twitter.
If they don't shut it down.
I know, right? I hope they don't. Twitter.com/Real Epics. So
okay.
That's where you can find me at, yep.
Nice. And you know how we do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
YouTube world, you sprinkle it down there, man. It'll be down there somewhere, you know what I mean? Well, Epics, man, appreciate you coming through, man.
I appreciate y'all.
Man, it's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, and much success to you in the future. We definitely gonna be tapped in. You know what I'm saying? And can't wait for the project to come out. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio season.
That
fellow Scorpio here.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's a Scorpio. My mom's a Scorpio. I don't know why.
You just surrounded
I'm
by
just surrounded by y'all
Scorpios.
damn Scorpios, man. So
we very important.
That
for
we
sure.
are. Don't forget it either, man.
Oh man, yeah, appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate y'all.
You guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
And as always, this is the Gray Space. Peace.